What's up guys, it's Jpeasy. Welcome to another in the series Jpeasy Makes It Easy, a beginner playlist where I'll walk you through everything you need to know about Siege. And today I'll be going through the basics of callouts, going over the do's and don'ts, along with a quick run through of one specific site and how you should be approaching the callouts you give to your teammates. Callouts are an aspect of Siege that are all about detail and precision. They are something that separate awesome from terrible teammates. The awesome teammates can make you feel like a one-man army. They allow you to know where everyone is on the map and make those 1vx situations easy mode. Terrible teammates, on the other hand, can turn an advantageous situation into a disaster, making you second guess your strategies and lose easy games. The goal of this video is to help you become that awesome teammate. Someone that, even if you're having an off day fragging, is someone that people still want on their squad because the intel you provide them makes the rest of your team better players. In order to become that awesome teammate, let's go over what to do when giving callouts to your squad. If you have exact details, be as specific as possible. The more accurate the call, the easier it will be for your teammate to pre-aim or pre-fire the target. But while attempting to be as specific as possible, make sure you notify your teammate that the callout is of a last known position if, say, your cam or drone is taken out, by indicating it, saying enemy last known position is, or a phrase similar. That way, this will prevent the enemy from surprising your teammate from being in a different location than when your exact call was. Say, for example, if they moved. And with your callouts, know the environment that you're in. If you're in a ranked environment, try and use the most universal calls as possible. If you have a specific call that, say, your team or your friends use that isn't standard, then not everyone's going to be aware of the call. For example, the landing above stairs. My friends and I call it land out. If I yell out to a group of randoms while solo queue, they're going to think I'm crazy and making up calls. And also not know what I'm talking about. Try to be as short and to the point as possible. Keeping calls to the minimum amount of words will make understanding fast and allow for reactions to the call to be done quickly. For example, instead of saying, he's on top of the spiral stairs peeking left side of the door, instead try top spiral left side of door. Same point is communicated, but in half the words. Now, on the opposite side of things, let's go over what not to do when giving callouts. Never say directional calls, like behind you or to your left. Use your knowledge of the map to be more specific. Also, over there is never a call, ever. Try not to talk over others. If multiple people are trying to make calls at the same time, it can prevent teammates from being able to hear or understand what's going on and often lead to confusion, causing more harm than help. Either take control, saying that you'll be the one giving calls, or be quiet and let your teammate do the talking. Don't backseat game. Don't tell person step by step what to do. And especially don't repeat it if they don't react right away. They may simply be ignoring your advice or focusing on something specific that you are unaware of. If you're dead and there's multiple teammates that are alive, understand that they are infinitely more important than you at the current moment, and make sure that you're not complaining or talking in the background or otherwise muddying up communication and allowing your team not to be able to hear what's going on around them. Make sure you give factually correct calls. If you give wrong calls and do it often, your teammates will likely second guess any of your future calls. And speaking of trust, don't be unsure with your calls. Make sure you're confident when making them, or your teammates will not trust you. Lastly, if you're not on cams and spectating a teammate, don't give callouts based on sound that the player can hear as well. You may be incorrect and the player can hear the same as you. To show you how hard and confusing bad calls can make a round, I'll be going through a clip where a team of young kids I got solo queued with makes every possible mistake within a 2-minute round. For context, I already didn't trust their calls due to being killed by multiple incorrect calls in previous rounds, so I was a bit defensive once they started making terrible calls in a clutch game-winning situation. It's 3 seconds into the clip and I've already got one incorrect call. So I'm joining in for 3 other people in front of me, and one of my teammates, who none of them I know, make calls saying alibi on me. I drone around and try and swing my camera to figure out which one is making the call, unaware of who it is, where it is, and no details on where this call is. I have no clue. All I know is there's an alibi near a person somewhere on the map. Not very helpful.
Go like this. Cover the diffuser.
You shot me to the fling. Right, top white. Top white.
You have located a bomb.
At this point, one of my teammates is playing on stairs. He gets killed and makes a call top white. Well, first of all, top white is stairs on the other side of the map, not where we're at. So I figure it's an incorrect call and he's just talking about the stairs that are directly above him. So I start to look at the stairs. If he wasn't on top of the stairs either, he was down below.
Hey, it's top of the stairs.
Down to one friendly.
This person I killed through the hatch is the one who was supposedly on top of the stairs.
1 op 4 remaining.
Alibi's back.
Hallway, not on main stairs.
Which hallway?
She's half health, half health.
The only hall.
We've got no cams, if you can turn.
Get the cam on you.
You're on cam.
If you have 2 cams, you can.
Use your mine on the stairs right next to you there.
You're good, no one's on those stairs.
Bunch of blank.
Do you have another drone?
The diffuser
Nope.
has been recovered.
On downstairs in the hallway.
Peeking.
Nice,
She's not
keep
swinging
going,
you,
keep
you're
going down,
good.
keep going down, keep going down.
In this small section of clip, I've been giving a guess call without any knowledge of where the enemy is. I've been backseat gamed and given an incorrect call of an enemy peeking me. And during this time, you can probably see on my face that my frustration is starting to build. At this point, I probably should have muted them. It probably would have been a better situation, but what I wanted to do was be able to watch my drone that was on the bomb to actually give me some proper information. This was my mistake. So this is where I take my ownership. I should have just muted them and then, carried on from the rest of the round. But I don't, and you'll see the rest of the mistakes here.
She's pushing up, pushing up.
We'll
Go
tell you
in
if he's
hallway.
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 We'll tell you if he's hallway.
Try and plant default again.
Hallway.
Hallway.
Just keep playing.
Stick it.
Yeah, just stick it. We'll tell you if he's pushing up.
Bomb
Hallway,
diffusion
hallway.
initiated.
upstairs.
Protect
Hallway.
Post plant, I have multiple teammates talking over one another. I'm struggling to understand what the calls are, and at one point, I hear both hallway and upstairs. At this point, I think the call was that she rotated upstairs. It took a second for my brain to process it and shake off the call, but during that period of time, I stood frozen in my position while I'm trying to figure out what I need to do, instead of doing what I should have done and instantly rotating upstairs.
Hallway.
She burned that.
Go
Go upstairs,
upstairs.
go upstairs.
Run.
Hallway.
Hallway.
Just wait until the fuse. Wait.
Yeah, just don't peek. Don't peek. Back up.
Rotational.
Just hide.
Closet.
Back up.
Just watch him hatch.
Dude, just don't peek. She literally has
She's inside
Please just
closet.
hide.
Don't peek.
Yes, don't.
I'm just...
Jesus Christ, these calls were awful. That round should have been an effortless win. The alibi did not play that well, and I had plenty of time to manipulate the map as I saw fit and be able to easily win the round. The calls that I received and the massive amount of noise and clutter that was constantly flowing into me made it a much more difficult situation and one she could have possibly clutched out. So that's the power of calls. Even though I somehow was able to win the round, it was not because of my teammates. The teammates were basically my biggest opponent in that situation, not the alibi. Now I'll be going over one bomb site on Villa, showing a map where the majority of players are still unaware of where specific calls are, and show the thought process on how to give accurate calls without that knowledge. When you're attacking the statue trophy site on Villa, more often than not, the attack will be coming from the bathroom side. With that being said, it typically starts off with a drone. So as you're droning, you're looking for specific landmarks inside of each room to be able to make a call if someone is near them. So a couple of the common spots to hang out in is close to this window, which you also notice is a hatch. So if someone's in the bedroom close to this, I would say enemy close hatch. Probably would call out the name of the enemy if so. Another common spot is also the walk-in closet, which people simply call closet. And the last peek and aggressive area comes in the statue door, because you can get a nice little angle into the walk-in when someone jumps in. So the three main calls in here: close hatch, statue door, walk-in, or closet. So you come in here, you clear this, make sure that you're not killed by that, and now you're inside. Now you have the two-prong attack that typically can go on outside of breaching open the wall. So if you're going to be approaching from the statue, so it's one of the common spots, close left statue. So what they would say is south statue. This is typically called mid statue. Or you have close reinforce on the right side. Right reinforce, close there. This is the connector area. Fit into astronomy, and then the other angles you have to worry about when approaching would be anywhere in the trophy. Typically when it's an angle like this, it's going to be very generalized. This doesn't have to be specific. So people would just say looking across trophy, peeking trophy. Anything like that would be specific enough so someone would be aware enough to have their gun up to challenge those angles. Say for example, now you want to attack from the bathroom. There's some more landmarks in here that makes it a little bit more specific. So if someone's in but close to the door, you can obviously say close to Astro door. Bathtub, people like to hang out and try and surprise people by laying in the bathtub. Typically it's either close bedroom door, bathtub, or close astronomy door. Those are three main calls inside of this. So now you've got this wall open. And you got some bathroom control. So if you're going to be attacking astronomy, you've got close right astronomy or top stairs. There's a close left call that people would make in terms of close distance. So sometimes these directional calls, so close left to door astronomy close left. There's astronomy boxes, which would be these blue boxes, and then astronomy desk. Also, there's a hole that's typically opened up over here by the enemy team. So the other one would be Astro rotate, Astro connector. Those are the calls, or Astro stairs if someone's playing on the bottom part of the stairs. Main calls in this room. These calls are not trying to be rocket science. You can see the basics to creating them: name of room plus door, or landmark name. The point is to give as much information to indicate the area the enemy will be. This way your teammates are able to engage them with advantage. I hope this video was helpful in understanding the basics to callouts. I plan to do specific callout videos for each map in the ranked playlist. If there's any questions or ideas for future videos, leave a comment down below. And as always, my name is Jpeasy. Take it easy.